Alright, I figured this would make it easier for you, Ted, just to do the entire model review. So I'm going to clear up a couple steps here that I think are going wrong a little bit. First of all these things I could see that they're parented to the actual... What are they parented to? I have no idea what these things are parented to. Let me just check your hierarchy real quick here. Okay, so it's all parented to this beam up here. Yeah. So anyway, we shouldn't be doing that, especially once we start unwrapping. Because I'm assuming that because it's a block model that's not done at the moment. Okay, so you started to unwrap some of these, and they're all unwrapped individually, I assume. Yeah. So when we want to actually start texturing everything, it all needs to be on a single UVW map. So what we're going to actually do is merge just about everything. The only exception to this for the moment is if something's animated. So for example, on the watermill, the spinning blades and the base are two separate elements, but everything else is joined together. So yeah, so first step, I'm going to fix most of these myself. I think that there are some minor changes that are going to be need to be done to the second and third. I'm not entirely sure, but we'll just take a quick look. So that's step one. Step one is everything needs to be merged together. So no parenting, first of all, and I think that's what was causing these sticks to be weird, is the parenting. I think that fucks up in the actual export. So I'll fix that real quick. Second of all, everything needs to be joined to the base. Then when I go here, I need to pack islands. Okay, so everything is made from the same cube. So that's a little weird that everything would be the exact same shape. I'm going to have to go through and maybe look at it because some of these shapes don't seem to quite make sense, but like that wasn't the point of this, so it's not a huge issue. The other thing is about wasted geometry. We're trying to keep it as like everything as low poly as we can. So if we go, for example, with this part, the two top ones, the two bottom ones are basically like they're never going to be seen because the roof is covering the top, the ground will be covering the bottom. So you can just completely get rid of that. This is just something to keep in mind with your future ones. So now again, let's say I just go and I add a plane to it just to simulate what it'll actually look like in game. You'll never actually see like those missing faces. So that'll keep it as low poly as possible, and I'm going to go through it and I'll unwrap it after. So that's it for the level 1. The level 1 generally looks pretty good. There's nothing wrong with it. The only thing that I could see that I don't know why, this is probably just a pet peeve for me, but it bugs me, is this chimney. What's going on here? Oh, my numlocks is off. I think this chimney should probably be like that. Anyway, that was just the one thing that was bothering me. So let's go to house number 2. Just going to move this to its own layer. All right, so level 2. First thing I'm seeing is that you're having some weird. These are conflicting. Whenever you have two faces that slightly overlap, you'll get this little fuck up. So I'm thinking for this one, we'll probably have to go in and actually erase some of the faces that are in there. They're redundant anyway, but that's not a huge deal. So we're actually going to go... Give me a second. I'm just going to cut the recording here real quick. Stefan is messaging me, so I will be right back. Alright, sorry about that. So like I was saying, what I'm thinking we can do is probably go in, and a lot of these faces are pretty redundant because you won't actually be seeing them. So we could probably just go in, and anything that's right off of the front, just like that, we could probably just get rid of. That'll get rid of that issue at the top. And you probably won't be seeing any of it because, again, it's an isometric. So you'll just be seeing the top. We could probably get rid of everything underneath, actually. Thinking about that now. Just like that. Yeah. Yeah, maybe not the entire thing. Okay. So anyway, the other thing that I see is that the two sides of the roof is uneven. So we got one cut going along here, and then two cuts going along here, and it gives it this weird bump. So what I think I'm gonna do real quick, with your blessing, of course. So I want to go in and just get rid of that. Actually just gonna erase the entire bottom real quick. Again, I'm gonna go through and fix it up afterwards. Take this as more of a like for your future reference more than anything else. Then we're going to go here. Okay, so that looks a little bit better like that. And then try to keep these kinds of things leveled with each other. So yeah, I'm gonna have to go in and maybe do some touch-ups on that stuff afterwards. Again, watch out for parenting, because a lot of these are now... the thing you have to remember is that unless you apply the rotation of an object, it'll inherit, like the children will inherit it. So if you rotated this object, and then you parent it to this object, well then it fucks up the rotation for all its children. So it's really important to, before exporting anything, to clear all the parenting. So now you can see that they're placed a lot better. So that's also really important. And I think it's the same thing for this one. Yeah. So again, the roof is offset. I'm assuming you brought the same roof over. So I'm going to take a look at that. But overall, it's pretty good. No huge complaints. Just the roof, and watch out for your poly count. You shouldn't have, again, like anything, for example, like even these pieces of wood, anywhere where it goes inside the house. So this part over here, just get rid of those faces, and then you can also get rid of the face here because it'll be inside the ground. And that's really important to keep track of that kind of stuff. Because right now it's not too bad, 2,450 triangles, but you got to remember how much is going to be in the scene. So I'm going to consider this one done. I'm going to put it down for block model finished. I'm going to do a couple changes to it. Nothing major, again, fixing the roof, getting rid of extra polygons. And I'm going to unwrap it, and then I'll put that into the next category. That'll get put in the engine. I'm doing a big push today, so this will probably be up in the next push. And in the meantime, I'm going to assign you a new task. So let's just actually go over that right now, since I'm going to open up the Trello list I have for you real quick. If I go over the Trello list, I'm actually going to assign you to... I'm going to give you 2 or 3 to do at once, and you can do them at your leisure. So let's go with, we'll give you a wooden fence, which should be pretty quick. We'll give you a stone fountain. And we'll give you, let's give you coils of rope, or we'll give you a wheelbarrow. So I've just given you 3 extra tasks. It's all assigned to you on the Trello now. I'll be moving your house over by the end of the day probably. So pretty good work, all things considered. Nothing major. I don't know if these weird issues are specifically because of you're using 3ds Max, I believe, or I'm not sure if it's because I'm importing into Blender, but that shouldn't be the case because FBXs are universal. So just a couple things to watch out for in the future. I'm going to be uploading this video to YouTube, and this is probably how I'm going to be reviewing models from now on. So good work. Keep up the pace. The house didn't take too long. The longest part was actually on my end. I've been busy keeping up with the programmers and stuff. And you'll be hearing again from me next week when we have our weekly meeting. So best of luck. Good day.